Namaste everybody. Thank you very much for joining the yoga class today. We're going to go straight into our yoga warm-up and then a yoga sequence together. Please remember that this doesn't really replace a normal yoga class where you can be helped and adjusted in your yoga asanas. And also different people have different levels of flexibility. And so you should never ever beat yourself up for not being able to do a certain stretch or a certain pose. And I will try my best to try and give you different stages and different steps so that you can progressively work into your yoga asanas or your yoga postures. So let's begin our yoga practice by finding ourselves in a comfortable seated position. If for whatever reason you cannot sit on the floor like this, you could get a couple of yoga blocks, join them together, and then elevate yourself so that your knees are below your hips. So you can always adopt that posture. We're going to bring our hands onto our knees, bring our first finger and the thumb together, and focus on our breath. Pull the shoulder blades down and try to sit up as straight as possible. And focusing on the breath, breathing in normally and breathing out. And do this with the rhythm of your own breath. And we're going to do 3 times Om together. So take a deep breath in. Very good. Now we're going to lie down in Shavasana, the lying down position. You bring your legs to the corners of the mat and you're going to bring your arms down to the side of your body. Now pay careful attention to your spine here. Now if your chest bones stick out, protrude quite a lot, you may have an extended arch inside your back like this. So you can see, I think, that quite a lot of arm and that curvature of the spine is exaggerated. That's an indication of a tilt inside the pelvis. So what we want to try to do here is we want to try to lift the tailbone up off the floor. So you're untucking that tailbone, placing it back onto the mat, and then you notice how different that is when you're lying down. Notice how that pulls your body into that little bit more aligning feeling. And pull the shoulders, blades down, and breathe in here. Hands are going to be facing up towards the ceiling, and feet are going to be at the corners of the mat. And this is going to be your ultimate relaxation position. If at any time of your yoga practice you feel that you're feeling a little bit tired, or you need to take a minute to recuperate, then you can come into this Shavasana. Take a deep breath here. We're going to watch the rise of the belly first, then the chest, the clavicus, and then exhale, belly falls, chest falls, clavicus falls. So breathing in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Very good. Now we're going to point the feet. You can bring the feet together if you like. You're going to point the feet away from the body and then push the heels Good. And then pointing the toes away from your body, stretch. And feel the stretch at the back of the legs as you push your heels away. When you do this with the rhythm of your own breathing, you should feel a nice stretch inside your legs when you do this. And then let's bring the legs apart again and make big circles with your feet. Big circles. This is very important to stretch your feet, and it helps strengthen the arches of your feet, and especially when your feet are in shoes all day long. It's really good to get a good stretch and rotation of your feet here. Very good. And now let's take our hands up towards the ceiling as well. And if you want a stronger practice, you can make your fist and then big circles with your wrists. If you want an easier practice, you can open your hands and just let your hands casually, very relaxed, open and close. Big circles here. And change, go the other way. And then opening up our arms. Now everything is going to be in a star shape, so you don't want your arms going over and above your head. You want to be pulling out to the corners of the mat, out, stretching out. And stretch your feet, stretch your toes, stretch. Imagine yourself being expanding in mass, big mass, expanding out in all different directions. You can visualize a light at the center of your heart, and the rays shooting off in all directions, and you expanding. This is called Mahima, or expansion. Your consciousness is expanding in all different directions. Stretch here, and relax. Very good. Bring your knees to your chest, hug your knees. Again, we want to try and get that tailbone up off the floor, and we want to try to bring the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Try to bring the knees as close to your chest as possible. Bring your head up to your knees and squeeze here. You're flexing your feet back and forth. If it's too uncomfortable to have your head up, you can place your head down on the mat and continue breathing. Then you're going to rock back and forth, massaging your kidneys, your spine. If that is not available to you, then you can rock from side to side. Now, ideally, when you're rocking, back and forth energizes the spine. When you're rocking back and forth, really energizes your body. And you can rock up into a seated position. If you're rocking from side to side, you should roll over to one side. Use the hand at the top of the body to push into the mat and slowly bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Or alternatively, you can rock straight up. Now, when you are a baby, you don't get rocked like this actually. Rocking like this will you're actually, when you're a baby, usually holding baby rocks from side to side. In a cot, the baby is rocking from side to side. So that secret there is that it actually helps you calm the mind down. So in the evening when yoga practice is happening, and you rock from side to side, or at the end of the yoga class, that is considered to be very good for bringing yourself into a state of deep relaxation. If you're going to be working into a very vigorous workout, or you're going to be doing lots of yoga exercises, or you have a whole day ahead of you, you may consider doing the rocking back and forth on your spine, and then rocking up into a seated position. So that will be a small secret that I can give for you, which can work very, very well for those people who have a lot of work that they have to do. It'll save you from feeling tired for the rest of the day. So there is a difference in how you rock in the yoga class. So finding yourself into a comfortable seated position now, we're going to pull the shoulders down away from the ears and sitting up nice and tall. We're going to make big circles with your shoulders, and if you want to, you can circle your hands on your knees. Big, big circles with your shoulders, breathing in and exhale. And you're going to do this with the rhythm of your own breathing. And change, go the other way. Now, if you are going to be circling your hands and your knees, make sure you don't just end up circling your hands and your knees. You've got to get into the shoulders and make big circles here. And if circling the hands is too much of a distraction, just focus on the rotational movement in the shoulders here. And go back again the other way. And change, go the other way. Now, some people, they may have a kind of kyphosis inside the spine, and that needs to be pulled back. So, doing these shoulder movements, sometimes the shoulders are so tight they cannot pull the shoulders back. So another way of tackling this is you can place your hands on your shoulders, so you can all do this now. Put your hand on your shoulders, and you can make inhale, come up, and exhale, come down. You make big circles with your arms. Now, just a quick note for those people who are struggling to sit on the floor, you can also sit like this. Continue doing your exercise while I'm talking to you. You can also sit like this. Or you can sit on a chair and also do this exercise. It's very, very good for strengthening the shoulders and increasing the mobility inside your shoulders. And you're going to change, go the other way. Remember, you can also sit on a bolster between your legs with your legs bent back like this. You can have the bolster between your legs and you can sit on it like this. And change. Good, keep your head nice and straight. And then release your hands, inhale, arms curled, interlace the fingers, and we're pushing up. And I'm just going to come back into my cross-legged position and push up here, pull the shoulders down, and keep breathing here. 1, 2, 3, pull the shoulder blades down so that you're not going to come up past your ears, pull the shoulders down. 4 and 5. Now breathe in. And as you exhale, we're going to twist. Keep twisting in this direction, keep breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Squeeze your belly in, squeeze everything, and come back into the other direction. So breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Squeeze your pelvic floor, squeeze your belly in, squeeze to come back, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze and come back. And then release your hands. Very good. Now you should feel that in your core. When you're twisting, you're going to squeeze your pelvic floor in. So squeeze your glutes, squeeze your bum in, squeeze your belly, squeeze everything in, and then come back. And you should feel that strengthening inside the core here. Okay, let's try that again. So inhale, arms come up, interlace the fingers, push up, pull the shoulder blades down, breathing in, and exhale, twist. Now we're going to release the opposite hand to touch the opposite hand to the opposite knee and push up here. Keep breathing. Now, in order for the hand to go back and meet the hand that's raised, you're going to squeeze your pelvic floor, squeeze it again, squeeze. See, you have to hold that and twist here. Keep breathing and squeeze everything, squeeze, 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 come back and change, twist towards the other side. Keep breathing, lengthening and stretching, and then release one hand here. Twist, push up. Breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get the hand, squeeze everything, come back up, squeeze. Nice inhalation, exhale. Twist, squeeze everything, squeeze to come back. And release the hands. Very good. Notice how that increases the heat inside your body when you do this. You see, yoga was practiced inside the mountains by yogis, and these exercises are adopted to generate heat inside the body, push out toxins, and keep the warmth inside the body. And twists increase that warmth inside the body. Notice that as you practice. As you squeeze and engage your core, it generates a warmth and heat inside the body. You may also notice that when you first start feeling warm, then oils will start pushing out of your body, of your skin. So that fat that is there will secrete through the skin, and that happens when you do these yoga postures, twisting. Okay, so change across of your legs to keep the blood circulation flowing inside your legs. And then inhale, bring the arms up, interlace the fingers, push up, push the shoulder blades down. We're going to push the hands out, okay, and push out here. And imagine you're going to be pushing the walls away with your hands, and you'll feel a stretch inside your arms. Keep pushing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turn your palms and up towards the ceilings and push out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. We're going to bring one hand down, pull the other arm up, and pull the shoulder blade down so it's in line with the other shoulder. Okay, we're not doing this. Pulling the shoulder blade down, breathe in, and exhale. And as you exhale, you're going to extend your body over, and you can bend this elbow down to the floor, stretching in this direction. You should feel a deep stretch inside your laterals all the way down the side of your body. Now your arm is not going to be over your head like this. You want it to come up and over your ear. You're going to pull that shoulder blade back. It doesn't matter how far you reach, it's about feeling the stretch all the way down the side of your body. Squeeze your pelvic floor, squeeze your belly in, squeeze everything as you come up, and you'll feel your core engage. Change over to the other side. First pull the shoulder blade down, breathe in, and exhale. And feel that stretch all the way down the side of the body here, breathing and stretching. Keep breathing and looking straight ahead. You shouldn't be looking at the floor, looking straight. Feel the stretch. Push your finger away from your body. These fingers lengthen. Pull back the shoulder. Breathing. Squeeze the pelvic floor now. Squeeze your belly, squeeze your glutes, squeeze everything. Squeeze to come back. And release. Notice how that feels in your core when you do that. And you can do that again on the other side. Exhale. Remember, when you're pulling your body up, you're pulling a heavy part of your body up. So you have to squeeze your core to bring the heavy part of your body up. Your head is very heavy. Squeeze everything, squeeze to come up. See, it's strengthened. That core is strong here. That's what we want to keep strong. It's less pressure on the spine. If you come up without strengthening the core, you're going to be pulling up a very heavy part of your body on the spine, causing damages there. You want to squeeze the core in, have a strong core. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. Exhale. Really nice deep stretch, breathing. and squeeze the pelvic floor, squeeze the belly in, squeeze to come back. Very good. Okay, change the cross of your legs. Let's keep the blood circulation going in here. You can always have a shake off with your legs. Okay, and then come back again when you're ready. Remember, you can pause the video anytime and then resume again once you've had a kind of shake off. Now bring the arms up and release your hands out. And you're going to interlace your hands behind your body. That's going to look something like this. Try to bring your palms together and pull the shoulder blades down. And bring the palms together, shoulder blades down, and breathe in here. Now, from the front, continue doing that exercise. From the front, you're going to be avoiding flaring the chest out like this. You're going to pull the chest in and pull the shoulders down. Okay? And inhale and exhale, and folding forward as much as you can. Remember, it doesn't matter how much you fold forward, it's about feeling the stretch. If you're feeling the stretch, you're doing yoga. You're going to bring your hands up over and above your head, breathe in here. Squeeze your pelvic floor, squeeze your belly in, and squeeze to come back. And then slowly, gently release your hands. You should feel really nice and stretched out inside your hands. You can wriggle your fingers, change across with your legs. Very good. Okay, now let's go into the head here. Drop the chin down to the chest, making a circle, breathing in as you come up slowly. Exhale as you come down. And change, you can go the other direction. I really don't mind if you do several circles before you go the other way. Remember, you can visualize the sun rising in the sky, and as you exhale, it sets. And you can change and visualize the moon rising in the sky, millions of stars, and the moon sets. Good, and breathing in, come up. And exhale, come down. And breathing in, come up. And exhale, and down, and straighten the head. And come back to the centre, very good. Let's change the cross of your legs here. Okay, very good. Now, we're going to continue with a few more stretches inside the neck. So you're going to drop one knee into one shoulder, doesn't matter which side. You can take that hand on that side that your head is dropping, and apply gentle pressure. Remember, very gentle. Yeah, your neck is very delicate. You need to feel the stretch in the side of the neck here, just like you did in the side of your body. And stretching here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's change over to the other side. Drop the head ear to the shoulder, and then you can stretch on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly come back. Very good. Now remember, some of those movements you can do whilst you're seated inside a chair as well. Stretch up the chin. You can put a little gentle pressure if you want to by putting your fingertips under your chin. And then interlace the fingers, placing behind your head and down. And let's slowly release, change the cross of your legs. And let's place them behind, fingers behind your head. Inhale, open up here. And exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. We're going to do this with the rhythm of your own breathing. Very good. Now you can try something a little bit more difficult. If you want to continue with that, you can continue again. You can do it at a slow pace. Remember, you can pause in between if you're feeling dizzy or if you suffer from hyperventilation. You might want to slow down the whole breathing thing if you're doing it too fast. Now you can interlace your fingers, place them behind your head. There's another strengthening exercise you can do. You can fold forward and squeeze and come straight back up. You squeeze and fold forward. Squeeze your pelvic floor, squeeze your belly, and then you come back. And you're doing this with the rhythm of your own breathing. Very good, everyone. Keep going, keep breathing. And finally come up, stretch your arms up and release your hands. Very good. Let's change across of the legs again, and we're going to grab hold of the ankles and we're going to pull the chest back and pull forward. We're going to do this with a rhythm, and you're going to exhale, inhale. Very good, everyone. Keep going. Remember, some people are not used to this kind of breathing here, deeper breathing, and sometimes you might feel a little bit lighter in your head, in which case you can adopt normal breathing without having to necessarily do such deep breathing. You can just do it normally, breathe normal, but continue with the movements. You should never worry too much, because it's only oxygen going to your brain. Only people who should really try to keep a slow pace in all of these things are people who suffer from epilepsy. And if you have high blood pressure, you have to be careful when you're in inversions or when you're upside down. Your head is lower than your heart. You need to be a little bit careful and come up early rather than stay down for long periods of time. And slowly come back, roll your shoulders back. And now you should start to feel really nice and fresh inside your body. All of those things. Now change across with your legs. Let's do a twist here in the spine whilst we're seated. Bring one hand back, one hand onto your knee, breathing in. And exhale, twist. Keep breathing and twisting. Always, when you twist, always do it on the exhalation. It helps you twist a bit more. And let's change over to the other side. You can first lengthen towards your knee, and then first lengthen your body, breathing in, and then exhale, and twist. And turning and slowly coming back. Okay, very good. Now let's straighten out those legs, shaking them off, making circles with your feet and the other way, shaking off. Really, really good here. Well done, everyone. Okay, let's just take a minute here and come down onto the mat. So lying down, back into your Shavasana position, and just allow your body to relax here. Shake off if you need to. Again, remember you've got your body in alignment. Wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. And breathing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. Bring your knees to your chest. Hug your knees. Okay, hug your knees. And flex your feet back and forth. Again, we're going to do our rocking back and forth, or you're going to rock from side to side. Okay, my preference is if you can rock back and forth, and the way to achieve that is tighten your hands, tighten your legs against your knees against your hands to make it strong, and then push yourself. Give yourself an initial push, rocking back and forth on your spine. Now you need to make sure you've got a good mat. If you're on a carpet, then that's fine, but you need to have a good mat. And very good, coming up again into our seated position. Okay, so now we're going to move into our sequence part. Now that we've had a warm up, we're going to move into our sequence part of our yoga practice. So let's start by standing with a variation of a sun salutation. So we're going to stand at the top of the mat. I'm going to ask you to have some yoga bricks. Always good to have yoga bricks at your disposal. You can have them at the side of your yoga mats, ready for you to hold on to if you need them. If you don't need them, if you've got really good flexibility, or you can reach the mat very nicely when you're in your different yoga positions, then you don't need them. But I always like to say to my students, always have them at your disposal. If you need them, great. If you don't need them, doesn't matter, but at least they're there for when you do. Okay, so standing at the top of the mat, you're going to have your feet slightly shoulder width apart. We're going to be standing here at the top of the mat with the feet pushing into the corners of the mat. We're going to inhale. We're going to bring our arms up towards the ceiling. Tuck the tailbone in. Keep breathing, shoulders down, and exhale, fold forward. Now you're folding from your hips. Okay, folding from your hips. So what you can do is take your hands and place them behind your ankles, and that just helps you with your elbows pointing backwards to fold forward. Okay? Now you don't have to fold all the way down. You're going to just try to bring yourself down as much as you can. And then, grabbing hold of your yoga bricks, you're going to step the right leg back. Now some of you might not need yoga bricks. You can have your hands flat on the floor under your shoulders, really aligned, and then you can take the knee off the floor, looking ahead. Now when I say looking ahead, first you look at the floor to release the pressure on the neck, and then just roll your eyes up. And this is your number one position. Now if it's too intense to have your leg up, you're going to drop your knee to the floor, okay? And then from here, okay, you're going to twist towards your right knee. You can be also holding onto a yoga brick here, and you're twisting and opening up here. Now again, you can have your knee on the floor, okay? Or you're going to have it off the floor, and you're going to bring your arm up, twist, and look up at your hand. Exhale, hand comes down. Remember, you've got your brick here, you can twist to the other side, you can drop the back foot also, and come up. You can look straight at the wall, or you can look up at your hand. Okay, whatever feels comfortable for you. Exhale, hand comes down. Now from here, we're going to come into a plank. Now if you're holding onto bricks, you don't want to lose the bricks here without dropping your knees. So first you drop your knees, lose the bricks, and then have your hands, and then bring yourself back into plank. Now you can plank here as long as you like, okay, to strengthen the core. And from here then we drop the knees if you want to, and you come down, and you slide yourself into your cobra. Or you're going to come from your plank, you're going to come down with control, and then feet together at the back, elbows tucked right in, pointing back, forehead on the floor, breathing in a baby cobra, okay? Baby cobra, belly is on the floor, hips on the floor, feet at the back together, elbows pointing back, shoulders down, looking straight ahead. Good. And you can either bend your knees first, or you can roll over your legs. I'm going to bend the knees. So first bend the knees and step the feet into downward facing dog. Now imagine if your downward facing dog doesn't look great. What do? You drop your knees, bring your chest down to your thighs, and then straighten the legs here. And then that improves your downward facing dog. If your feet are not touching the floor so much, you can step your feet forward a little bit and then start working on bringing those heels down to the floor. Bend the knees, breathe in here, right leg comes up, and then you're going to thread it through to bring it to the front of the mat. So you need to close to your body to bring it to the front. Now if it doesn't reach, what do? Okay, let's come back. It comes here, for example. Drop the knee, pick up the foot, bring it to the front of the mat, and you're back again. Okay, very good. And then from here, step forward, squeeze your belly in, inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down. Okay, that's one half of a sun salutation. It's a variation, it's not a basic format. It's got a twist inside it, but we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So, over here, coming onto this side of the mat. One more time. We're going to inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. Okay, remember you've got the use of your yoga bricks. Fold forward. Bend the knees, step the left leg back this time. Again, you're going to twist away from towards the knee and breathe in here. Again, you can look up at your hand or you can look at the wall, but you've got to keep your neck nice and strong. Hand comes down, drop the back foot, change over onto the other side. Arm comes up, exhale, hand comes down. And coming up into the ball of the foot, squeeze the mat, step the other leg back, and you're planking here. Squeeze your belly in, squeeze your bum, squeeze, and either you're going to bend your knees or you're going to come down and control. Feet together. Inhale, cobra. Feet together. And then tuck the feet under. And this time I'm going to roll into over my toes, forehead on the floor, pushing myself into down facing dog. Remember, bend the knees, chest down, straighten the legs. Nice long exhalations. Left leg comes up. Remember, you're going to thread it through, bring it to the front of the mat, and if it doesn't reach, you do your adjustment. Okay? Which is drop the knee, pick the foot up, bring it to the front, and stretching here. Very good. Step forward and fold forward. Now if you've got high blood pressure, you're going to come up now. Otherwise you're going to squeeze your belly, come up, and hands come down. And you're back again. Very good. Shake off. Or if you're feeling really tired, remember, you can lie down on the mat and catch your breath, breathing here. You can have your legs in Shavasana. And then bring your knees to your chest, hug your knees, rocking back and forth on your spine. And rock up into a comfortable seated position. We're going to do our final stretches here. What we're going to do is we're going to extend one leg out. Okay? Now remember, you can use a yoga strap around your leg if you want to. Okay? But you can just stretch. You know, it's not compulsory, you can just stretch towards, and you're going to bring your elbow either onto the inside or the outside. You're going to feel stretch on one side here. This hand is going to come up and over your ear. And if you can reach your feet, stretching. Stretching, breathing here. And stretch. And lengthen your arms, slowly come back and twist it. And slowly come back. And change over to the other side. And extend towards your leg. Arm comes up, over, and stretch. Breathing here. Lengthen your arm, inhale, come up, and twist it. Good, slowly come back. Let's bring those feet in together. Coming up nice and tall, you're going to try to pull those knees down. If you cannot achieve that by pulling the knees down, you use your elbows on the inside to pull and push them down. You lean forward to push them down. Okay? Now if you can already bring your knees down, then you can try working on bringing the soles of your feet to point upwards. And you lengthen your body. Breathe in, and as you exhale, you're folding all the way. Or as much as you can. Slowly come back. And you butterfly. Okay, and then we're going to do a glute stretch as well. You're going to come down onto the mat. You take one leg up over the leg here. This hand is going to loop through the hole, grabbing hold of the leg that was on the floor, and then take the hand on the outside, left hand onto the outside, and stretch. Deep stretch in the glutes. Breathe in here. And exhale, slowly come back down. Let's change over to the other side. And exhale. Very good. Let's take the legs down to the sides of the mat into our Shavasana. Just going to spend a moment here in Shavasana, breathing. Just follow my guided technique here. Deep breath in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Relax your breath, breathe normally. You can continue breathing here and keep this Shavasana position for a few minutes before you start rocking yourself up into a seated position. Take your time and relax as much as you need to. You can visualize a light in the heart center expanding and shining in all directions, or at the third eye level, shining and expanding. And when you're ready, you can bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position. In the meantime, I'd like to say thank you very much for following along with the yoga class today, for the stretch that we've done. I hope you enjoyed that. I've tried to make this as easy as possible for you to follow at home. This is a good, very basic stretching routine that you can do learn the sun salutation, which is a very basic yoga sequence that we have, and then gradually build your yoga practice into more complex yoga asanas, more complex yoga postures. Thank you very much. Please do not hesitate to message me or leave a comment, and I will be in touch with you very shortly with more yoga classes. Thank you.